it's Camilla from the Sewing Society, and in this video I thought it could be fun for you to come along with me while I copy one of my favorite garments. I've had this jacket, coat, cardigan for quite a long time and I love it. I wear it a lot, but it is starting to look a little bit old and a little bit shabby. So I thought it would be really nice to replicate it and make another one. Because this is a really simple garment, it will be easy to copy. This method of cloning works really well on simpler garments. So something like this doesn't have a sleeve piece, it's all in one. Or a t-shirt, some trousers or shorts, and skirts, it's really good, and simple dresses, that sort of thing. This cardigan has a facing, so I'll show you how to do a facing as well. The great thing about copying something that you already have is that you know that it already fits you really well, but you can make adjustments to it. So if you wanted to make the sleeves a bit longer or shorter, you can, and the same with the body of the garment. You can also lengthen it or shorten it to whatever you like. And in this case, I was thinking I might adjust the neckline a little bit. I'm not sure, we'll see as we go along. Okay, let's get started. For this project, you'll need the item of clothing you'd like to copy, some craft paper or tracing paper, a ruler, some scissors, and either a texter or a pencil. Cut a piece of paper big enough for the length of your garment and also big enough for half the width. My body didn't quite fit onto the width of my paper, so I had to add a little bit for the sleeve. We're only going to copy half the garment, that way both sides are the same when they are mirrored. To do this, we need to fold the garment in half, making sure that all of the seams are lined up and matching and not out of shape. Once you're satisfied with how it's looking lying on the paper, nice and flat, we can start tracing. We're starting off with the back, but it doesn't matter what order you do it in. I'm using the marker to do an approximate dashed line that I'll come back to and draw in properly. I'm using the set square here to square off the back neck and also the center back of the hem, so that when it's cut out on the fold there isn't any weird like lumps or like angles at those points. Here I'm adding the pattern markings, so labeling it with back and also indicating that it's cut on the fold. Once we've traced everything out, we can't forget to add seam allowance. I'm going to add about 1 centimeter. I have this little ruler that is 1.2 centimeters wide, and I use it for adding all seam allowances to my patterns. It's a really handy little tool. Now we can cut out our pattern piece. I'm going to use the back piece as a template for my front piece. Because this garment is so flat, there's no shaping, no darts, I can do that no problem. Now, because the front piece is going to be cut 2 pieces separately, that is not on the fold, I'm going to add my seam allowance to the edge of the piece of paper before I trace out the back piece as the template. So now I'm going to trace the front neckline with the garment facing down onto the paper. I'll use that side as the guide. At this point, I thought it might be nice to bring the neckline in a little bit so that there's a bit more of a collar on this version. Now all we need to do is add the seam allowance to the neckline that we just drew in. We don't need to put it on anywhere else because we did that already when we made the back piece. Now I've got a front and a back to my jacket, and I'm pretty much done. All I need to do now is make the facing pattern pieces. This coat has a neck facing, sleeve hem facings, and also a hem facing as well. My jacket has pockets, but I wasn't sure if I wanted them or not, so I left them off. To make the facings, I'm going to trace around the outer edges of the pattern pieces. So to start off, I'm going to make the back neck facing. So I'm tracing the neckline and also down the center back. Not all the way, but just enough to trace in our facing. So I like to make my facings about 6 to 7 centimeters. That gives me enough room for seam allowance. Then I'm going to repeat that same process for the sleeve hems and also the bottom hem. To make the front neck facing, the process is pretty much exactly the same. We need to blend the width of the facing at the shoulder to the width of the facing at the front. Now all that's left to do is cut her out and sew her up. I thought it would be nice to add some binding to the facing like it is in my original garment. It's turned out really well. I'm really pleased with the outcome, and I like the little bit of different neckline. It kind of gives it a bit more of a coat kind of feeling. Yeah, I'm very happy. And I love this color. It looks so nice with the green too. I'll put in some better pictures so you can get a better look at the total length. Yeah, I'm really glad that I've got another jacket, cardigan, coat that I can throw on and will go with a lot of things in my wardrobe. I hope that maybe this has inspired you to have a go at copying something that you have in your wardrobe as well. Please like and subscribe for some more sewing videos like this one. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Okay, so I don't know what I was thinking not making pockets, because I totally wanted some. So I went back and made some pockets.